This sports program is presented by authority of Wabash Valley Sports and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated in any way without prior written consent of Wabash Valley Sports.
Welcome to Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, the U.S. News & World Report's #1 engineering school in the United States that offers a master's as its highest degree for 20 consecutive years. Rose-Hulman, where you come to find yourself. Find yourself through personal growth, through personal development, through study, research, and invention. Rose-Hulman, your home for academic and athletic excellence. You're watching Rose-Hulman Women's Basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, where tonight we have the Crosstown Classic game in between the home Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers and the St. Mary of the Woods Pomeroys. Hello, friends. Happy to be with you. I'm Walter Gordon, alongside my friend and colleague, Mr. Troy Fears. Troy, there's some games that are more than just a game, and this is a community event here on this fine Wednesday evening.
Boy, it sure is, and it's going to be a nice crowd here to see the 27th annual Crosstown Classic between these two schools, just a few short miles away from each other, and each one looking to kind of start their season off a little better than what they had. Rose-Hulman's 0-4 coming into tonight. St. Mary's is 1-8. So a combined 1-12 going into tonight between the two teams. But now's the time that both coaches want to see improvements in their team, and you're going to see a totally different type of basketball from each team.
My.
And we'll talk about that as the game goes along. But two totally different styles of play that each coach likes to do, and so that's going to make it fun and exciting for the viewers at home and everybody here in the crowd.
When you look at these two coaches, kind of opposites in level of experience at their respective places. Coach Bob Belf in his second year at St. Mary of the Woods currently has a 9-26 record, looking to get his program out to where he wants it, and he's building his recruiting classes, and he'll be there in short order. You look at Coach John Prevost on the other side for the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers. This is his 14th year, and overall he's got a record of 190 wins, 157 losses, and that's in women's basketball. He was a coach of the men for a decade, a little bit over a decade as well. So these two coaches, polar opposites in their experience at their respective places.
They sure are, and Rose-Hulman has had a lot of experience on the floor the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Last year they graduated, quite a few seniors.
The whole team, basically.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, you're exactly right. This year you're going to see tonight in the starting lineup, there's only one senior, and then there's 4 freshmen. So they've got a lot of growing pains that they've gone through and are going to continue to go through. Like I said, they're 0-4 coming into tonight. They've played some tough quality competition, though. There's nothing you can say about they've played the number 21 team in the country, the number 23 team in the country in Division III. So they've faced some tough opponents in those 4 losses. But again, with that many freshmen that Coach Prevost has on his team, there are going to be some growing pains throughout these early November-December matchups.
Gray hairs are starting to abound in places that maybe there weren't before for both of these coaches. It's early basketball season, but we have the Crosstown Classic. It's going to be a great one, folks. We'll come back after our short commercial break, get you more set for this action right here on the Indiana Sports Network.
2 pure beef patties, 3 slices of melty cheese.
Biggie cheese? Oh, yeah.
Hey, man, do you need help getting out of that thing?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, here,
I'm not even sure how I got in, man.
Motor in for a Biggie cheese before they're gone and order ahead to try happy hour anytime.
Everybody clap your hands.
shot now, yo. Turn it out. Oh, yeah. Shot, real smooth.
This Fritos Chili Cheese Junior wrap is only 99 cents.
And that's a wrap.
Right, but you know the commercial's not over, right?
And that's a car.
Yep, very good.
And that's a camera.
3 for 3, good job, buddy.
That's a Fritos Chili Cheese Junior wrap while they last. Order ahead for happy hour anytime.
You're watching Rose-Hulman women's basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
The Pomeroys and the Fighting Engineers ready to duke it out here on the hardwood tonight. A nice midweek Wednesday action for you. We don't have a conference game. We look at it traditionally here at Rose-Hulman. We play Wednesdays and Saturdays in conference season, and the men are away at Manchester tonight for their conference game. But here on the women's side, we have a little out-of-conference matchup between two teams that have played each other a number of times. We talked about the way that St. Mary of the Woods is right now. Coach Belf in his second season here at St. Mary of the Woods, and really trying to build his program to where he wants it, but staying with the type of system offensively that they've had down through the years.
Yeah, exactly. They like to run that, what we kind of call a shift offense, where every minute or so on the game clock, they're going to shift 5 new players in.
Right.
We saw that the first game of the season that we had with them a few weeks ago, and that can work and not work, obviously. But, you know, he's battling some injuries. I think there's a few players on this team that are injured tonight and won't be playing. So I think he has about 8 players available, if I'm not mistaken. And we'll see how that goes as the game goes along. But, again, they like to shift on and off, much like a hockey match,
right.
so to speak. And so they've got some freshmen as well. And, you know, in your second year as a coach, you're building your program. You're trying to set the course. They had a good season last year, and he hopes, obviously, for that to continue again. But it's those November and December games where you're really trying to build a chemistry with your team, trying to determine what spots are best for each player. And the chemistry is so important as you go into conference play here later in December and also into January and February, where the games really matter.
And Rose-Hulman, you mentioned some of the inexperience for them. One senior, and when you look at Hannah Woody on this roster, when you look up and down the roster, Hannah Woody is the only player with any experience in a Rose-Hulman uniform here at Division III basketball. It's Hannah and a whole bunch of new players, whether it be freshmen or not, but mostly freshmen.
Yeah, and new for us as well, as far as seeing them play. But, you know, Coach Prevost says they're very talented, and I believe they are. You know, Hannah is coming into tonight's game having scored 19 points, a career high last weekend. She's averaging just under 10 points a game in their 4 losses. But she has to be a leader in a lot of different ways, both on and off the floor, with this many freshmen on this team.
And Hannah, we talked about that being a career high. That's not because she couldn't do it. That's because, quite frankly, she wasn't the primary or anywhere closer. She was like the 7th option coming into this year. And I'm trying not to be funny, but it's a
no,
truth.
you're exactly right. I mean, they had the Allie and Abby Bromschickle last year that graduated, and that basically, as you said earlier, their whole starting 5 graduated, and a lot of their bench. So it is a full new nucleus of players that Coach Prevost is having to work with, and which is kind of fun for a coach in that you have to teach technique, you have to teach some things that you don't normally have to go through with upperclassmen, juniors and seniors. So it's fun in a certain extent, and then again, there's going to be growing pains as the season goes along as well.
Students are trickling in, pouring in for some dinners, or getting a
free
nice
pizza
little treat,
tonight
free
too.
pizza, and then also they'll get a chance for some half-court activities during halftime as well. We're going to step aside again here on our Sonic pregame show and get you set for action. It's St. Mary of the Woods in Rose-Hulman right here on the Indiana Sports Network.
Terre Haute, a great place to stay and play. Restaurants, hotels, motels, and campgrounds, there's something for everyone. Terre Haute is the home away from home for students of Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, St. Mary of the Woods College, and Indiana State University, where there are always great educational activities and sporting events. Enjoy the Children's Museum. Terre Haute hosts Blues at the Crossroads Downtown Music Fest, Rib Fest, and the Banks of the Wabash Festival. Plus the USAC Quarter Midget Championship, open wheel racing at the Action Track, and 5 national college and state high school cross-country championships at the famed Laverne Gibson cross-country course. There's plenty to do and enjoy in Terre Haute, so come stay and play.
This patty melt is loaded. Beef patty, grilled onions, melty cheese on Texas toast.
I propose a toast.
Oh, awesome.
Peter, you're dull.
Okay, this feels more like a roast.
I propose a roast.
It's now or never. Grab a patty melt while they last.
You're watching Rose-Hulman Women's Basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
I want to thank our sponsors for tonight's game: Hamilton Center, Lynn's Pharmacy, Refreshment Services, Pepsi, Riddell National Bank, Sonic Drive-In, Terre Haute Convention and Visitors Bureau, Union Center of Sports Medicine, and York Automotive. They're our transportation sponsor here at the Indiana Sports Network. They hooked us up with a nice, beautiful Chevy Traverse. Riding and styling out here at the Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology. We've got the Crosstown Classic here for you tonight. A game that we play here between these two fine institutions, Rose-Hulman and St. Mary of the Woods. So many traditions that are here when you look at these two institutions, but also so many new things that are going on as well. When you look at St. Mary of the Woods going co-ed a few years ago, and now with the announcement today, just a couple short hours ago, announcing that men's basketball will be the next sport offered at St. Mary of the Woods.
Yeah, that's correct. Men's basketball will be joining St. Mary Athletics for their 14th varsity sport in the 2021-22 school year, so a couple years away.
Right.
But again, another just example of how St. Mary's is growing both academically and athletically.
Yes.
We hope to have someone on a halftime to talk a little bit more about that announcement that happened just today. But it's just, again, that school, as we've said, the same here at Rose-Hulman, is, it's a really a family approach, and they really care about their student athletes, and students support the student athletes, but also the faculty, staff, and the community as a whole support both these schools. So it's a lot of fun, and good things are happening.
When you came in and right in front of the Student Rec Center when you came into this building, did you see that beautiful St. Mary of the Woods bus team rolled up in?
Yeah.
Is that sweet or what?
That was very nice.
I love that bus. I haven't been able to get inside of it yet, but I've talked to some of the guys from the golf team, talking about some of their experiences traveling out to the nationals out the East Coast, and how nice it was to travel in comfort. So
exactly.
Man, I'm telling you, it's just beautiful.
It really is.
I really liked it.
And just it's one of those kind of limousine type
Yes.
buses, but it has the St. Mary's logo plastered all over it, and it is very professional and stylish. And yeah, I'm sure everyone enjoys riding in style as they go from event to event. Obviously, tonight's ride was a little short, just down Wabash Avenue to get to the home of the engineers here.
Speaking of things new, for the first time, as Mr. Tony Harper, if we can get in on Kanan's camera, if we can switch to there we go. For the first time tonight, I do believe you're seeing the new St. Mary of the Woods mascot. The students voted on the mascot a couple of years ago, and now we're starting to see, for the first time, we're seeing the unveiling of the mascot. We'll step aside for a quick break as we have the national anthem. We'll come back with the starters in the tip. Back after this.
It could be anyone. The star student, the all-state athlete. I never thought it could happen to me, that I could lose everything. I found help, I found hope, I found recovery. I regained something lost.
At Lynn's Pharmacy, we're more than just your pharmacist. We're your neighbors.
Our kids go to the same schools. We eat at the same restaurants.
We sit next to you in church.
When I listen to a symptom.
When I fill a prescription.
When I offer advice, I'm not just helping a customer. I'm helping my neighbor and a friend. My name is Lynn Hofstetter, and I'm the proud owner of Lynn's Pharmacy, a modern pharmacy with old-fashioned values and personal service, dedicated to keeping you, your family, and our community healthy since 1872.
Here at Lynn's Pharmacy, downtown Brazil.
We were choosing colors for the house, and I stopped and looked at Mike and said, "We're really doing this, aren't we?" The process was challenging, but Riddell was there for us every step of the way. The mortgage, closing, they eased our stress. It made sense when Mike said,
"We're really doing this."
Mortgage loans made easy from Riddell. Making friends since 1885.
You're watching Rose-Hulman Women's Basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
Of the starting lineups. Delaney Kendall, Mara Canada, Maggie Reamer, Averly Jeffries, and Montgomery Porter. Your starting five for the St. Mary the Woods Pomeroys. Now the introduction of our starting lineup for the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers. 5'7" freshman from Powder Springs, Georgia, Desiree Webster. A 6-foot freshman from New Brighton, Minnesota, Kaylin Jester. A 5'10" freshman from Muncie, Indiana, Avery Luman. A 6-foot freshman from Wheeling, Illinois, Nosa Igihan. And a 5'7" freshman from Cincinnati, Ohio, Hannah Woody. Once again, that's for the Engineers, Kendall, Canada, Reamer, Jeffries, and Porter. For the Fighting Engineers, it's Webster, Woody, Jester, Luman, and Igihan.
Let's get this crosstown battle going.
Coach Prevost still doing some coaching down there. You see in the St. Mary the Woods huddle getting the last instructions down to the last. They're going to have to buzz him out.
We mentioned early this is the 27th time that these two schools have met. St. Mary's holds a 14-12 series lead going into tonight, but Rose-Hulman has won the last 7 meetings.
Tonight they're looking to make it 8. St. Mary the Woods is looking to reverse that trend first possession to the Engineers. And, of course, St. Mary the Woods comes out in their pressure defense, which is what you would expect from Coach Bob Bell for this squad. The first couple of shots are up and off from Avery Luman. Going to get to the free throw line. Opportunity to score the first points of the game.
And that's what you're going to see a lot tonight, I think, from Rose-Hulman, is they are going to have to control the pace of this game, where St. Mary's, as we like to know, shoots a lot of three-pointers and likes to run the floor.
Luman draws you think for a free throw you're not going to get that much of an applause.
Well, it got really quiet in here.
It was very quiet. First point scored the home season here. Of course, this being the first home game of the season, the Engineers have been on the road for their first 4, and now the friendly confines of the Holbert Arena. A long three-pointer's no good. Trying to get the offensive rebound was Jeffers. She couldn't get there, but the defense swarms. Right
Here
off the
come
bat.
another 5 off the bench, and just poor defense there by the Pomeroys. Didn't quite get back.
Iggy Hahn with her first 2. That's a very promising freshman. You're seeing freshmen all over the court here tonight for the Engineers. A three-pointer, that's a good look right there for Mara Canada. She nails that on a 5'6" senior from Mount Vernon, Indiana.
Yeah, very nice stroke. She's averaging 8 points per game. But again, the Pomeroy's not getting back quick enough on defense.
Nice swing of the ball from side to side, and Luman gets her first bucket of the night. 6-3, Engineers on top. Look down low, and Iggy Han steals it away, and she starts to break.
She's going to take it all the way.
Takes off from a little farther away than she probably should have. A foul on Luman is going to go the other way. Iggy Han did a great job bringing the ball down, but then just took off maybe too far in the paint. And you've got, like you said, a new 5 coming in for the
Coach Prevost right now is telling her to calm down, slow it down, let's set up our offense. And again, a new 5 for the Pomeroys, fresh into the game.
Still trying to work their offense, and caught in the corner was Jared. Gets out of that, and fresh off the bench, here comes Engineers for that rebound.
Again, St. Mary's with that pressure defense. So far, Rose-Hulman's been able to get those passes down low.
Just a little bit off the hand. Sometimes you have to catch the ball before you can move. Actually, you always have to catch the ball before you can move.
That's usually how that works.
Sometimes you lose your focus. Let's see with that turnover right there for the Engineers. Ball picked up by Rose Burnham as she gets in the game. And Engineers going to step back for a 3 is long. But we do pick up the offensive rebound. That's Desiree Webster down to Iggy Han. Nice pass across the lane, and that was Hannah Woody going to get her first bucket.
Nice job by Hannah to bank it in from about 4 feet.
A nice take right there by Taylon Williams, a 5'5" freshman from Indianapolis. He went to Lawrence Central. I'm telling you, this young lady, this freshman, if she stays with it, is going to have a fine career here. Is extremely quick with the dribble, can penetrate the lane. Obviously going to have to get a little stronger, but she's a very fine freshman that has some great ball skills, great potential. She makes her first free throw.
Comes from a good high school program in Lawrence Central out of Indianapolis, and knows what it takes to win, that's for sure.
Second free throw is up and good as well.
And I'm not positive, Walt, but I think every Rose-Hulman student is in this gymnasium tonight.
That's very likely.
They all have pizza, and they are all sitting right in front of us, and that smell is very tempting.
Ball was stolen on the inbounds by Brianna Smith. She couldn't control her body as she crashed to the floor. Got on the floor. She ended up traveling with it, but that's a traveler she'll definitely live with for Coach Bob Belt. Into the game is Nola Wilson for the Engineers. As he's staring down some pressure. The Engineers have a few new guards this season that is kind of trial by fire for some of these young freshmen.
Sure is. Obviously, Hannah Woody being the senior guard, but the other 3 guards listed on the roster are all freshmen. So, as we mentioned in the pregame show, Hannah really has to be a leader both on and off the floor. And I need to apologize. I said St. Mary's only had 8 players available. It's Rose-Hulman that only has 8 players available tonight.
Turnover by the Engineers, and here come the Pomeroys in transition down 8-5. And we'll talk about that as the game goes along. Hubbard with the long 3, no good. And look at Smith skying for that rebound, and boy, a great job by Jordan Barlow just to snatch the ball away from her.
Well, she sure did. It was a great rebound, as you mentioned, but Barlow just took it away.
Wilson handled the trap, gets out of it. Hannah Woody down to Barlow. There you go. Great ball movement. The students are really enthused and energized here.
Well, you got to reward Barlow for a nice takeaway there, and Hannah Woody did just that with a nice pass.
Hubbard on the ground. Jump ball is going to stay here this possession. And another group of 5 coming in for the injury. I'm feverishly looking. I had some notes. Coach Bob Bell let me look at his rotation sheet, and I wrote the sucker down, and now I can't find it. So
you don't have to admit everything, Walt.
Well,
I mean, it's okay. Oh, we have a clock malfunction currently going on. The referees seem to have it figured out, but one of the shot clocks above the St. Mary's goal was going in and out, but we're good now.
Maggie Reamer's take is blocked out of bounds by Rose Burnham. Burnham, a 5'11" freshman from South Riding, Virginia. Reamer looks to down low to Jeffers. It was blocked. Webster between the legs and across the 10-second line. The pressure just wears you down. And with 8 players available, we'll have to see the cumulative effect of this when it gets to the second half. If this game is close, then it's going to be interesting to see how the stamina of these engineers. Great ball movement. Ball is kicked away, and here come the Pomeroys, Averly Jeffers. Got a little transition break. She stops, waits, looks for help. 3-pointer's going to be short off the front rim.
You know, you mentioned stamina, and you're exactly right. We're going to have to pay attention to that, especially the third and fourth quarters. But that's why it's important for Rose-Hulman to play their game. They need to slow it down, run their offense through Hannah Woody, which is what they're doing right now, and not get into that fast pace up and down offense that St. Mary's likes to run.
Shot clock down to 5. Wilson's going to have to do something with it on the right wing. Foul by Montgomery Porter. Oh, it's a tough foul right there with 3 seconds on the shot clock. She got her forearm on the player as she drove to the basket. They had to call the foul. 10-5, Rose-Hulman up. Great crowd on hand, folks. I'm telling you. Students for both schools here as the ball swings down low. Good ball movement, just not quite where, getting through the defense as St. Mary the Woods was scrambling and replacing each other very nicely. Ball was kicked out of bounds by Kaylin Williams.
And both teams have 4 turnovers midway through this first quarter.
Going to get a timeout. We're calling for immediate timeout. I do believe there's a timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them right back after this on the Indiana Sports Network.
Take advantage of huge savings at our Employee Pricing Plus event at the all-new York Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on US 40 in Brazil. During our construction sale, you have new Rams up to $12,500 off. Jeep Gladiator lease for as low as $299 per month. And Employee Pricing Plus incentives on most 2019 models. On US 40 in Brazil, where we're not number one, you are.
We're not number one.
You are.
You're number one at York.
10-5, 4:48 to go in the first quarter of play. Just a reminder, in women's basketball, they always say women are smarter than men. You hear that a lot, and any man that's married will hear that from his wife, especially. And they play quarters. What I'm getting at is that women's basketball, they play quarters, and when you talk about being smarter than men, they figured something out that the men's basketball just hasn't, or maybe men are too stubborn. I love the quarters.
I do too.
In basketball,
I really
not
agree.
half. Looked like it should have been a travel there by Webster. She got away with it. Didn't make the shot, though. And here comes Williams.
I like that move by Webster, though. Again, a freshman being able to take it up into the hoop.
Delaney Jarrett on the drive gets fouled. Top of the key, Jarrett. No. Great rebound underneath and kicked it back out to reset. Shot clock moves back to 20 on the rebound by Jayla Rogers. Back first. Excuse me, that was Nicholas. Now Williams. Right in the mug of Webster, just drains the three. Scores now 10-8. Inbounds pass goes awry right off the hands of Avery Lumen. And here come 5 fresh bodies for the Pomeroys.
That's the 5th turnover of the night for St. Mary's. Again, or excuse me, Rose-Hulman.
Reagan Hubbard looks down low to Smith. Oh, boy, I love this post move by Smith.
I did
but
too,
even
but
better
the block
post
was
defense
even
by
better.
Jordan Barlow.
That's right. Barlow's second. You know, she's a force down there tonight early in this first quarter. We had a
2-on-1 break
2-on-1
opportunity. Smith tried to block the shot, but it's going to get called for the foul. Looks like a lot of students are starting to go for seconds on the pizza now, as there is a stampede in a long line.
Well, I thought they were going to come see us, but
no,
they're
it's Chick-fil-A now.
Yeah,
it's first pizza. Hey, somebody bring me a sandwich, will you? How about it?
Wow, these college kids.
Oh, my goodness, they're getting spoiled around here, I'm telling you.
They sure are. They are running to that Chick-fil-A.
Literally.
Every one of them had pizza, now they're going to get Chick-fil-A.
Is there really that much Chick-fil-A for them, all these students to get a sandwich?
Surely not.
Good. Webster misses the first free throw.
So does the Pomeroy mascot have a name? Do we know?
I don't know yet. I need to find that out.
We got to get Rosie out here too to have a little mascot battle.
Yeah. We might see that at halftime, is what I'm hearing.
We might.
Hubbard cut off by Webster, should have gone baseline and continue to drive. Smith helps her out, drives hard. Iggy Hahn cut her off, and the ball goes out of bounds as you had that baseline pass.
Rose-Hulman playing some tough defense, not allowing St. Mary's really to get into their offense and to take those three-point shots that they like to take. They have taken a few, but
got to get the ball in bounds. Nola Wilson. Iggy Hahn looks, drives. The lefty spins. Oh,
ooh, nice
some people wanted
move,
to travel, but players crash to the court, and here come the Pomeroys in break. Nice drive.
Very nice.
Bring the Pomeroys within one. Delaney Kendall, I believe it was, for that bucket. (11-10), 2:56 to go in the first quarter. As this quarter is kind of plodding right along. Always two players on the ball when you're looking at defending for the Pomeroys.
So they like to put that pressure again on that inbounds pass.
Wiping down at the ball, the Pomeroys, and they get the turnover. Delaney Kendall going to bring it up. Tried to go down the lane, and Hannah Woody just flat took it from her.
Well, she sure did. Just took it right away. Nice heads-up play by Hannah.
Ooh, thought about a three there, thought better of it, and gets down low to Lumen. A foul on the baseline is going to be. We're getting closer to free throws, and actually, this would be the fifth foul. This should be free throws here. Should get 2 free throws out of this deal for the for the Engineers.
Yeah, I like, again, Rose-Hulman's approach, trying to get the ball down low into the paint and try to score some easy buckets.
At some point, I think the Engineers have had some points where they could be aggressive and really try to attack this pressure. They haven't done so. They've been very reserved and judicious with their attempts to the basket. At some point, you got to take the governors off and try to be a little more aggressive. I know you're going to have some turnovers, but
no, I agree. But when you only have 8 players, you got to be a little conservative here in this first quarter, especially.
There have been some times where they had maybe a 2-on-1 situation and they didn't attack it. They get it into the mid post and then wait because maybe it's not quite the player that you would want it to be. Those are the situations I'm kind of referring to. I'd love to see the Engineers really take it, press, and try to get get at it. And speaking of getting at it, boy, that's a second three for Kaylin Williams, a freshman from Indianapolis. She ties it up at 13. We're right at 2 minutes to go. The Engineers break the pressure, pull it back out, close to a travel. Boy, the Pomeroys are pushing them all the way back up to the 3-10-second line. Lumen gets loose down low. The freshman from Muncie, Indiana.
And a nice heads-up play by Hannah Woody to get the ball to Lumen for an easy 2.
Double dribble there. Yep, they called it. Delaney Jarrett bobbled the ball and tried to be slick. Ball's going to go the other way. 5 fresh bodies coming in for the Pomeroys. Hayes, Andrus, Kraft, Hubbard, and Smith. I found my notes. It was right in front of my face the whole time.
Of course it was.
Here's
another example right
there.
Yep. Walt,
that's where I want them to push that ball. That's when you turned it over. Push it, go to 2-on-1 situation, and trust your team. Trust yourself. 3-step back, 3-pointer off the glass.
The bank.
Oh.
The bank is open tonight.
Pomeroys with their first lead at 16-15. Jester to Lumen. Engineers are playing right into the Pomeroys' hands. I'm telling you. 3-point attempt is no good. Smith, another rebound, just snatches that thing down. Here comes Hubbard. 3-pointer in the corner. Oh, it's no good. Iggy Hahn, the rebound. That would have been a big 3-pointer at the end of this first quarter. Zola, Wilson. What did we get? We got a foul? Oh, wow. I was just getting ready to say, Troy, if the Pomeroys could have this possession and not foul, now you give up 2 free throws. That's not what you wanted right there in this situation.
No, it sure wasn't. Coach Belf is not happy with that call that far away from the basket.
She wasn't going
you don't
anywhere.
Need to, exactly.
Can't have 2 hands on the player.
There's no need for that foul.
Hannah Woody at the free throw line, the senior from Cincinnati, Ohio, went to Milford High School.
Just a quick example. Pomeroys are 4 of 10 for 3-point range in this first quarter. Rose-Hulman is 0 for 2.
17-16, Woody gives the Engineers the lead back. Last possession potentially. Nope, a step back by Canada off the glass.
Another bank.
Are you kidding me? Oh.
Make that 11. 5 for 11 in 3-pointers in this first quarter.
2 seconds, 1 second, not going to get a shot off. The first quarter expires with the Pomeroys with the 19-17 lead. We'll be back after this for the second. Indiana Sports Network.
2 pure beef patties, 3 slices of melty cheese.
Biggie cheese, oh yeah.
Hey man, do you need help getting out of that thing?
Oh yeah.
Hey, here, me,
I'm not even sure how I got in, man.
Motor in for a Biggie Cheese before they're gone and order ahead to try happy hour anytime.
Everybody clap your hands. Cha-cha now, y'all. Turn it out. Oh, yeah. Cha-cha, real smooth.
This Fritos Chili Cheese Junior Wrap is only 99 cents.
And that's a wrap.
Right, but you know the commercial's not over, right?
And that's a car.
Yep, very good.
And that's a camera.
3 for 3, good job, buddy.
That's a Fritos Chili Cheese Junior Wrap while they last. Order ahead for happy hour anytime.
You're watching Rose-Hulman women's basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
It's always a good time for Sonic Drive-In as you have 2 locations in Terre Haute to serve you, and Sonic sounds good after this game tonight. I'm trying to think about an Oreo blast. I know it's cold, but ice cream is always good, Troy. I can always eat ice cream. I don't care how cold it is.
And Oreos are always good.
That's right.
You know? And
You
they
can't
too
go
go
wrong.
hand in hand.
19-17, St. Mary of the Woods is on top after the first 10 minutes. We're starting the second frame. Starters in the contest for the Pomeroys, and they get turnover right off the shoot. Avery Jeffers thinks about a 3, and she nails it.
A 3 right off the shoot as well.
22-17, Engineers having all kinds of trouble getting the ball in bounds. They finally get it to Webster. Iggy Hahn travels with it. It's going the other way.
St. Mary's got a little momentum on their side here. The last 2 or 3 minutes of that first quarter, and now here to open up this second quarter.
Montgomery Porter gets down to Maggie Raymer to Jeffers in the corner. Oh, that was a great look. It's going to stay here, though. Montgomery Porter, the only player in this game from Terre Haute. She is from Terre Haute North, a 5'1" senior. Porter has been a contributor on this team for a number of years, and here she is with a chance to win the Crosstown Classic. In it a little long. Iggy Hahn with the rebound.
Porter played for head coach Mike Allen of the North Patriots.
Yes.
North side, not too far from campus from here.
Tough pass to Iggy Hahn's feet. He was able to corral that 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Again, Rose back to setting up their offense.
Down to 5. Iggy Hahn got to work with it. Giro in the paint, off the glass, and good for Rose Burnham. Big basket for Rose. Porter, the 3. It's splash. Woo! These Pomeroys are just burning down the nets here in the first half. 25-19. Barnum. Oh, she gets stripped from behind. A dangerous play, and Porter says, my bad. Here are some groans from the student section. I love this Rose student section. I'm going to tell you, when they come out, they're energized, they have fun, they cheer, they jeer, they get on the refs, they get on the opposing team.
And we even have the pep band here tonight.
That's right.
And so, yeah, it's just a fun atmosphere here at Holbert Arena.
Burnham gets to Webster. Has Hannah Woody been out tonight? I don't know. If it has, it's been for a short amount of time. She steps on the baseline. It's going to go the other way. Well, these rotations for Coach Belf have been really good. Right now, Rogers, Baver, Nicholas Williams, and Jarrett, the 5 that are in the game for the Pomeroys, running their offense right now, looking to take one to the basket amongst the trees, and Jarrett got bounced around out of there, and Iggy Hahn comes away with it. They got 5 seconds to get it across, 3 seconds to get it across, 2, one. Oh, boy. 10-second call is another turnover for the Engineers. Coach Prevost saying we needed to pass. He's kind of directing traffic right there. He's teaching on the fly right now. You mentioned something he hasn't had to do for a number of years.
Yeah, exactly. When you have this many freshmen, any chance you can get for a coaching opportunity, Coach Prevost knows he's going to have to give them some good advice as the game goes on.
Williams in the paint, hard off the glass, on the deck with it. Ooh, boy. I tell you what, Burnham that's a tough girl right there.
It sure is.
She didn't play around.
No.
2-on-1 situation, not playing around in the Engineers. That's what you want to see. Jester pays it off. They're aggressive that time to their trip to the basket. Deep three! Are you kidding me? Oh! Natalie Nicholas from the logo. Oh, my God.
Now, here we go. Well, there's your 2-on-1 again.
And that's what you have to do. Make or miss, you have to be aggressive. If you pull the ball out, you're playing right into the Pomeroy's hands. Williams looking, getting hounded, almost a turnover. Wing pass, another corner three. That's no good. Offensive rebound. Williams, her pass is blocked. It's going to go the other way. Some of the trials and tribulations of being a freshman, you just got to get up and play. Foul away from the basket. 28-23, the Pomeroys up, 6:12 to go here in the second quarter. Rose Burnham out, Avery Lumum in for the Engineers, and for the Pomeroys, they put in a new five of Hayes, Andrus, Kraft, Hubbard, and Smith. Woody now back in the corner. Half of the shot clock is now gone. Ball tipped away. Going to be an and one. Oh, no foul?
Wow, I was surprised too.
Ooh. Thought it was going to be an and one opportunity.
I know Avery Lumen thought she was going to get fouled.
Hubbard pulls. Ooh, got the kid anything. You can see on her shot, Reagan Hubbard kind of has a side winding shot. Her rotation doesn't go front to back. It kind of is a sideways rotation.
It is. You don't see that very often, but it's been effective for her.
Engineers moving the ball. Down on the post is where they want to be. That was short, though. Here comes Hubbard on the attack. Peyton Hayes. Got a clear look to the basket. 30-23. Engineers extend that. The Pomeroys extend that lead, I believe. Largest of the game, Troy.
Sure is, and the Pomeroy faithful are very excited about what they're seeing so far.
It should be. And a turnover. Here come the Pomeroys on the break. 2-on-2 break. Wide up for three. That's going to be long. You've seen a lot of Pomeroys hitting the deck. A lot of ladies.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of contact
yeah.
tonight. Some of it's been called, some of it hasn't been. Yeah, a lot of hustle, a lot of grit going on out there.
Jester, the three. Yes, the left-handed stroke of Kaylin Jester, the 6-foot freshman from New Brighton, Minnesota.
Nice ball rotation on that shot. Had plenty of time to square up her feet and shoulders and knocked it down.
Peyton Hayes from the corner. And she says, anything you can do, I can do as well.
Exactly right. Peyton wasted no time to get that shot up.
Foul away from the basket, going to send us to a timeout and a commercial break. 33-26, 4:16 to go. Pomeroys flexing their muscles.
Terre Haute, a great place to stay and play. Restaurants, hotels, motels, and campgrounds, there's something for everyone. Terre Haute is the home away from home for students of Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, St. Mary of the Woods College, and Indiana State University, where there are always great educational activities and sporting events. Enjoy the Children's Museum. Terre Haute hosts Blues at the Crossroads Downtown Music Fest, Rib Fest, and the Banks of the Wabash Festival. Plus the USAC Quarter Midget Championship, open wheel racing at the Action Track, and 5 national college and state high school cross-country championships at the famed Laverne Gibson cross-country course. There's plenty to do and enjoy in Terre Haute, so come stay and play. You're watching Rose-Hulman Women's Basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
Fans that are just tuning in may be adjusting their screens or checking their ears to see if they're hearing the score right. It is. It's 33-26, Pomeroy is on top. Trickling down closer to 4 minutes to go here in the first half play. Iggy Hahn gets it on the left block, and that's where I want her to attack. I know she didn't have the numbers, but she has the size. She could have gone up with that thing and tried to score the bucket. She would have at least gotten fouled, I do believe.
I agree. I like what I see out of Iggy. She's going to be a good quality player for Coach Prevost, but that's just a freshman's going to hesitate a little bit. That's what she's doing.
2 players on the floor, Iggy Hahn and Jeffers on the floor, and the possession stays right here. Averly Jeffers got down and tied the ball up. Rose Iggy Hahn had that turnover. Oh, boy, look at the post. And, look at that, Maggie Reamer.
And
she
foul.
gets it and one.
Gets the and one opportunity. Boy, you hate to see that if you're Coach Prevost. He's over there shaking his head.
It's one of those situations, it seems like, where you think the universe is against you right now. How many shots were banked for the Pomeroys?
They've had 2 3-pointers that they made.
That doesn't happen one time, let alone 2 or 3.
Yeah, they're shooting 45%. They are 9 of 20 from 3-point range in this first half.
This is a team that shoots below 30% from 3-point. If you look at the Pomeroys on the season, look at Iggy Hahn down low getting the offensive rebound. Jester wanted the 3, but her feet weren't set quite right. Coach Ballinger says it's our ball, but the ref says, nah, it's not.
Just kidding. Yeah. He said, you can't have that. And again, a whole new 5.
Yep.
Seen it about every minute on that clock, game clock, is when St. Mary's likes to substitute 5 fresh legs.
Rogers, Baver, Nicholas, Williams, and Jarrett. Iggy Hahn on the other team gets the easy bucket.
Nice play. Nice inbounds pass there to Iggy.
Trailer. Got to get up the court just a little bit faster. Williams, the look. No. Another offensive rebound. Nicholas going to put it up. No. Another offensive rebound. Oh, my. Is she going to put it up? She is. That's no good. 4 attempts at it. And here come the Engineers. I love the aggression by the Pomeroys, and that time as well by Iggy Hahn. That's why she should put it up every time she's in the paint, just about, especially in this game when you have the size advantage. But on the other end, I love the aggression by the Pomeroys, shooting that 3, getting the offensive rebound, and pitching out for a 3-point shooter. Go ahead, Troy.
No, they've got 8 offensive rebounds in this first half. They picked up 4 right there in that situation.
Rose Burnham gets another 2.
And there's not a player on that St. Mary's roster who's not afraid to shoot that 3-pointer.
Here you go. Off the back iron, starting to go a little bit cold. Burnham with the rebound. She is not afraid of contact. Got to get it across. Williams tracks it down for the steal.
Williams is quick.
Yes, she is.
She's quick with that ball, too. Nice ball control.
Down low, Nicholas back outside. What did we get? Call? We got a 3 second
seconds,
delay.
I believe, yes.
That's a tough call right there when you're looking at Jayla Rogers. She was expecting that ball to go up, and so she was trying to get the rebound.
Well, usually the ball does go up within 3 seconds.
Yeah.
If you're the Pomeroys.
This offensive style is patterned after the system. The offense run at Grinnell College, a Division III college in Iowa. Here comes the Engineers, just barely getting it across and almost got it stolen away. Jester thought she was going to walk into a three. Jester's ready for it. And here comes Smith with a steal. She played the passing lanes. Oh, the ball was tipped away nicely by Woody. Referee's going to talk about this. They disagree. They're going to talk about it. I think it's going to go the other way. What's the call? I see no call. What did it?
They called the ball out of bounds. I thought one referee was going to come in and call maybe a potential foul.
Okay.
But the initial call was St. Mary's turnover, and that call stands. So a minute 38 to go. St. Mary's up 6 here in this first half, and Rose-Hulman really needs to score here on this possession to finish this half on a strong note.
Jester. Wilson. Woody. Shot clock down to 10. Wilson needs to look to score. Had that 17-footer, doesn't like it. Now you're in a rough way. Almost a foul. 3 seconds. Jester got to put it up. Burnham with one off the glass. Rose Burnham, she's got to be close to double digits.
Yes, that was her 10th point.
Maggie Reamer, a long three is no good. Engineers have an opportunity to take the lead before this half. Ikihan pulls it back out. This crowd is in a frenzy.
They can't believe what they're seeing, Walt.
Oh, my.
They are having fun, and that makes it fun for us as well.
7 on shot clock, ball going the other way. Canada dribbles down. Porter.
She's going to shoot that.
Ball was short. 19 seconds from the clock, essentially. Going to have 5 fresh bodies, and this unit right here has really played well. This defensive unit is going to need to get a stop right here with 18.9 to go. Rogers, Baver, Nicholas, Williams, and Jarrett. Jester trying to get the ball in bounds. Nicholas, turned the ball over. Opportunity. Williams almost right in front of Coach Prevo. She travels with the basketball. 10.4 to go. First half. The referee, that's for a little help for the students. He's a little tired from running up and down the court, I think.
I think you're right. He's wanting some pizza or some Chick-fil-A at halftime.
He throws it off the support. Hey, I'm telling you, he's tired. Woody across, getting hounded with 5 seconds. Got to get into it. Jester, three-pointer by Webster, no good. 2 quarters are in the book, and the Pomeroys are clinging to a 4-point lead. 36 visiting Pomeroys, 32 for the home Engineers. We're going to step aside for a break. Come back with our halftime show, stats and analysis. This is the Crosstown Classic right here on your spot for sports, the Indiana Sports Network.
This patty melt is loaded. Beef patty, grilled onions, melty cheese on Texas toast.
I propose a toast.
Oh, awesome.
Peter, you're dull.
Okay, this feels more like a roast.
I propose a roast.
It's now or never. Grab a patty melt while they last.
It could be anyone. The star student. The all-state athlete. I never thought it could happen to me, that I could lose everything. found help, I found hope, I found recovery. I regained something lost.
At Lynn's Pharmacy, we're more than just your pharmacist. We're your neighbors.
Our kids go to the same schools. We eat at the same restaurants.
We sit next to you in church.
When I listen to a symptom.
When I fill a prescription.
When I offer advice, I'm not just helping a customer. I'm helping my neighbor and a friend. My name is Lynn Hofstetter, and I'm the proud owner of Lynn's Pharmacy, a modern pharmacy with old-fashioned values and personal service dedicated to keeping you, your family, and our community healthy since 1872.
Here at Lynn's Pharmacy, downtown Brazil.
You're watching Rose-Hulman Women's Basketball on the Indiana Sports Network. It's time for the halftime report on the Indiana Sports Network.
36-32 after 20 minutes have been completed, Troy, is
20 minutes of exciting basketball.
Yes.
You know, we weren't sure what to expect tonight with these two teams, but you know, the crowd and us and everybody at home, I'm sure, would take another 20 minutes of that type of basketball.
You know, sometimes as an announcer, you are hard-pressed not to get wrapped up into the environment. And this is a fun basketball game. At times, it's been a little bit sloppy, as you see the St. Mary of the Woods dance team under the leadership of Miss Sarah Hudson. But this dance team has been around for a couple of years now. One of the new things at St. Mary of the Woods, and Sarah Hudson had the idea. I believe she went to the West Vigo Vikings. She graduated from West Vigo, it's about 7 years ago. She had the idea to form a dance team, and the powers that be said, "Hey, Sarah, go with it, and let's get this thing off the ground." And what you're seeing right here, the first event at the Crosstown Classic halftime show, of these ladies, they're doing a fantastic job.
They sure are, and it goes to, again, the openness and willingness of President Dottie King to try new things. And, you know, we mentioned the boys basketball, or I should say men's basketball, coming in a couple years, just announced today. And so new and exciting things happen on both campuses, and it's great for Rose-Hulman to be able to allow the St. Mary's dance team to come out tonight. You know, normally the visiting dance team doesn't get to perform, so it's nice that Kevin Lanke and everybody here at Rose-Hulman allowed St. Mary's to do that.
They also have during halftime the student competition,
which is always a favorite
to
see who shoots free throws. We have a male student and female student from Rose-Hulman attempting to see who can make the most free throws, I think, in 30 seconds. I'm not sure.
I think the young lady is from St. Mary of the Woods. She got powder.
Oh, you're right. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I think the gentleman that we see on the screen is from Rose-Hulman. On the other end is a female from St. Mary's. And, of course, as soon as we take away, I think we're tied 1-1.
Not anymore.
Oh, no. The crowd is going wild, folks. The students are obviously very excited, and rightfully so. And I believe the Rose-Hulman student won 2-1.
And when you have an atmosphere like this, you have to cap it off with the mascot challenge. You have Rosie, the engineer, and you have.
We were looking for Rosie earlier.
That's right. Rosie's in the building now.
Oh, so a classic mascot challenge. Something I've always wanted to call. I don't know about you, Walt, but that, you know, this is like WWE at its finest.
It is.
Here. Oh, we're going to do layups.
Yeah, best of 5 layups.
That is going to be tough in those outfits.
No doubt.
It is not.
Rosie,
I'm giving it to Rosie because
Rosie doesn't have mitts.
Right. Yeah, Rosie at least has hands to grip the ball.
To get
oh, no.
The Pomeroy mascot the ball. Help out a little bit down here.
This is a sad display happening. Oh, Rosie made one for the Engineers.
There's
a tie ball game. Oh, Rosie with another one. Oh, another for the Pomeroy. Oh, the Pomeroy made one. Rosie missed. Oh, Rosie made. I believe we are tied 3-3. Oh, Rosie made another one. And another. Oh, that's a... I can't imagine these Rose-Hulman students not knowing an answer to a math question.
Oh, my, the upset.
The upset.
Onyx the Pomeroy.
Wow.
Comes in here and steals one.
Just like the first half
And I think they're not done.
What? They're going again? They're another challenge.
Now
for
they're
these
getting ready
two
to run
mascots.
sprints, I think. They're going to run sprints. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, that would be interesting to see.
If Tony Harper can get it back down on the court, we got one last thing in this mascot challenge. They're running sprints here.
Wow. I would think the horse is going to win.
You would think so, but oh my.
Oh.
They're running suicides around
suicide.
here.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Somebody blew a tire.
They blew a tire. Rosie was the easy victory.
Oh, my.
But I would have. Yeah, the horse lost a shoe. And I really. Wow, these guys are getting a workout. What?
Now we're going to have a dance-off.
A dance-off? There is nothing better than a mascot dance-off. As we know.
Somebody get Onyx's shoe. Onyx got to dance with only one shoe.
Poor Onyx. Oh, and he's got to go first.
Okay.
He or she.
I see you, Onyx.
Moves. He's looking good there. See if Rosie plays to the home audience here. Oh!
Oh, my. Rosie said, I don't need the whole 15 seconds.
Yeah, I'm only going to go 5. A couple moves and I'm done.
They gotta cue up the music.
Oh no! First we lost the shoe. Now we're losing the music. The conspiracy is on for the mascot dance-off.
And nobody's gotten Onyx shoe. I'm so concerned about the shoe. Onyx is saying, "Hey, we're gonna go with one shoe."
Nope. Oh, a little Michael Jackson
here.
Slowing it down.
A little moonwalk.
Attempting the moonwalk with one shoe. Not quite sure what. I'm not quite sure what that was, Walt. I'm not going to give that a high score myself.
Rosie!
Woo!
That round goes to Rosie right there.
The classic Michael Jackson move. We got another round?
Yeah, it's the third round.
Oh, no.
Oh, I've got to get the music right.
Oh, boy. Let's see who wins this round. I gave round 2 to Rosie.
If Onyx could do the centipede or the snake, the worm, whatever you want to call it, that would be the game winner right there.
Yeah, the Pomeroy.
Okay, Onyx.
Shooting some dice, but I think Rosie's going to pull this one off again. Oh, some classic little breakdance moves. Oh!
Rosie getting PG-13 on us all of a sudden. Oh, I'm telling you what.
There is nothing more fun than a mascot dance-off. And Rosie takes home the championship tonight.
Yeah, I think that was a fair assessment of that winner. And I tell you what, folks, you can't ask for much better than that. The Crosstown Classic, you got student
It
shoot
is
off.
entertaining
you
for
have
everybody.
The mascots. You have the St. Mary of the Woods dance team. I'm telling you what, this is a great atmosphere, a packed house, and a great basketball game. We're going to step aside for a quick break. Come back and do some halftime stats and analysis. Back after this.
This sports program is presented by authority of Wabash Valley Sports and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated in any way without prior written consent of Wabash Valley Sports.
We were choosing colors for the house, and I stopped and looked at Mike and said, "We're really doing this, aren't we?" The process was challenging, but Riddell was there for us every step of the way. The mortgage, closing, they eased our stress. It made sense when Mike said,
"We're really doing this."
Mortgage loans made easy from Riddell. Making friends since 1885.
You're watching Rose-Hulman women's basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
20 minutes down, the halftime show is concluded. Troy, the Pomeroy's up by 4. Your impressions of that first half?
Well, I tell you what, it was an exciting first half. It wasn't necessarily well played by either team, but St. Mary's obviously up by 4. They shot 9 of 27 from three-point range for 33%. In comparison, Rose-Hulman was 1 of 5 in three-point range for 20%. And so that was obviously the difference of the game. Turnovers, we had 17 for Rose-Hulman in that first half, 10 for St. Mary's. Again, I think that shows Rose-Hulman was just their young lineup, only one senior, 4 freshmen most of the time out on the floor, and they were going to make some of those freshman-type mistakes. And you saw that, again, in the amount of turnovers. Rose-Hulman, again, we talked about how they need to take the ball down low, take advantage of their size. They have 20 total rebounds to St. Mary's 14. So Rose-Hulman's seeing that. Coach Prevo's got to be happy with that. Rose-Hulman also has 5 blocks. St. Mary's has 0. Just a couple more stats. The Pomeroys were led by Kaylin Williams with 8 points, and Mara Cannon had 6 points. And the Engineers were led by Avery Lumen with 8 points, and Jordan Barlow and Rose Burnham both had 6 points. So, again, you're seeing a lot of different scoring. There's a lot of players that were on the floor that obviously scored, especially for St. Mary's, with they run in and out. So I expect to see a lot of the same here in this second half.
You know, there's minutes to go around for everybody on the Pomeroy's roster. They have 15 available bodies tonight, and all 15 of them will play over 10 minutes in this contest. So they've run their platoon system, and there's minutes for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Again, about every minute of the clock, they're shuffling in 5 fresh new legs. And so, and again, Rose-Hulman only has 8 available. We're going to see how much that affects them here in this second half, especially in that fourth quarter. But again, It's going to be important for Rose-Hulman to limit the amount of turnovers this half and to play their game. St. Mary's likes to get out and run and shoot that three. Rose-Hulman needs to calm down and just play their style of basketball.
Engineers start the second half with the possession. Iggy Hahn misses the layup, and she's going to get the offensive rebound and go straight back up. Can't get either one of them to go, and Mara Canada comes away with the basketball.
That's exactly
big opportunity.
Yeah, it was exactly the opportunity Coach Prevost wanted to start the second half. Just couldn't capitalize on it.
I want to thank our sponsors, Hamilton Center, Lynn's Pharmacy, Refreshment Services, Pepsi, Verdale National Bank, Sonic Drive-In, Terre Haute Convention and Visitors Bureau, Union Center of Sports Medicine, and York Automotive. After a tie-up, the ball's going to go the other way, and the Pomeroys hit those threes early. Coach Belf wants a quick timeout to reset things. We'll take a 30-second break as well. Back after this.
You're watching Rose-Hulman Women's Basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
I absolutely love the timeout for Coach Bob Belf. He saw something that he did not see very early on in this first 31 seconds of the quarter. Takes the timeout to regroup and to come out with a better collective effort than what he saw on that first trip up and down the floor. We talked about it earlier, this system that they like to run here at St. Mary of the Woods is patterned after Grinnell College's system. And you know, Coach David Arsenault is well known for the system where he has a set number of shots he's looking to attempt and wants half of them to be threes. He wants to get offensive rebounds on a third of his possession. And he wants to make sure he forces 32 turnovers on the opposition. If you look at the Pomeroys this season, they're close to where they won in the number of field goal attempts. I talked to Coach Bob Belf. He wants that 94 attempts. They haven't reached there quite yet, but they've hit 93 a couple of times. They are taking at least half of their shots as threes as Iggy Hahn gets behind the defense. And they are getting offensive rebounds on at least a third, actually more than a third, of their missed shots. So they're halfway home as far as for the point that that the system is built upon. He just needs to continue to recruit, and that's what we talked about before the game is continuing to recruit and look for better players, better athletes than what they've had here at St. Mary of the Woods, and to keep pushing that envelope, and he's going to get to where he wants to be.
He sure is. He's a quality coach with a lot of experience coming into St. Mary's, and it just takes a while for these girls to learn the system. It's not a normal system that you're going to see at a high school level.
Right. Three-pointer there was missed, but here's the thing that I like about that. Desiree Webster shot the ball. I don't know if you can see Desiree Webster's field goal attempt, if that was her first one. She shot a few times. Okay.
Yeah, she's 0 for 3 field goals, 0 for 2 on three-pointers.
Just feels like she's passed up a ton of open looks. Just want her to be a little more aggressive.
And again, and I'm sure Coach Prevost has said that, being a freshman from Power Springs, Georgia, I'm sure she's, again, this is only the 5th game for Rose-Hulman.
Boy, a nice interior passing from Burnham to Iggy Hahn, and they tell each other good look and good shot there as the Engineers tie the game up at 36. Nicholas, the three is no good.
And Rose-Hulman with the
ball on the floor going the other way.
I
Here
was going
comes
to say,
Williams.
nice rebound on the defensive end.
Corner 3 is up for the Pomeroys. Is in and out for Brooke Andrus. Andrus, the 5'8" freshman from Greenville. She went to University High School in Carmel, Indiana.
Andrews 0 for 2 on the night.
Turnover. Oh, no. Jester comes away with it. A foul by Williams. A little bit of frustration there. I don't know if you've ever been to University High School. It is absolutely gorgeous.
I have not. I have heard that exact same thing.
Boy, they just won, I do believe. It's a fairly new school. I believe their boys basketball team won a state title recently, I think. Iggy Hahn couldn't get that to go. I know their men's soccer team is team success. One of the soccer players at St. Mary of the Woods is a grad of University High School. So good defense there by the Engineers, and a three-pointer up no good. But how about that offensive rebound? Jester gets called for. Oh! Thought we were going to get a push.
No, we got to travel instead.
There's a reason why she fell to the floor. There's been a lot of contact not called in this contest. We talked about that earlier.
You know, a lot of people think the men's game is physical.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the women's game is as, if not more physical.
Way more
than the men.
Oh, that ball just spins and spins and finally drops for Rose Burnham. Hubbard, she's cut off. Gets it out to Smith. Smith looks to drive. Little out of control, gets it down low to Jayla Rogers, and she gets 2 points to go. Now tied at 38. Jester's got to get it in.
Got to get the ball in.
Close to a 5-minute turnover. Gets back to in a foul. Jayla Rogers with opportunity for a three-point play. Pomeroy is going wild.
That was a great play by Catherine Kraft. She tipped that with one hand to Jayla Rogers, and Rogers was able to get the and one opportunity. And the pressure defense by the Pomeroys causing some havoc there for the Engineers, struggling to get the ball in bounds. Caused the turnover.
Rogers, a couple times to the court, misses the free throw, almost got the offensive board, and now the trap. Engineers get it across, and I'm wondering if they'll see traps a lot this season. Boy, Hannah Woody being hounded in a little touch foul. We saw contact on the other end.
Yeah.
Knock a player down, and then you get a little touch foul right here that's getting called.
Little surprising call, but
they're trying to wipe the court, and they're telling the player to get off the court, the student to get off the court before they start play. He's just trying to do his job, you know. Hannah Woody getting hounded. Gets it out to Webster. Nice interior passing to Webster. She gets fouled. She'll get 2 free throws. A lot of congestion down there. She still found a way to get that shot up on the board.
Yeah, it was a nice give and go there, and a chance for 2 free throws for Kaylin Williams.
Desiree Webster from Power Springs, Georgia. Don't know where Power Springs is. I wonder, I guess if you're talking to someone who doesn't know the area, you could probably say it's around Atlanta, and nobody would know the wiser. I'm gonna have to figure out where Power Springs is.
Webster 2 of 3 from free throws tonight. Looking to make it 3 of 4. And
Gets
she does
really
just
low
that.
with a free throw attempt, doesn't she?
She does.
Bends her knees a lot.
And she's not that tall of a player, so she can't Get much slower.
Engineers going to a little bit of a zone here. Canada, top of the key, in and out. Rebound came down to Barlow. Up across, 2-on-1. Don't want it. Jester. Look. Barlow swings it to Woody. Look for a post touch here in a moment off a couple of passes. They look for the duck in right there. There was Lumen. That's what they want. You start at the top of the key, go to the wing, and get the duck in. It's going to be 2 free throws. As we get a line change here, it's going to be 2 free throws after every foul for the next 5 minutes and 11 seconds as the Engineers are in the bonus.
And the Engineers electing not to put anybody on the free throw lane.
It helps to give them a little bit of a break as well, I think. You know? Coach Bell mixing up his lineups here for this second half. Both free throws around and down. Engineers up 42-40, trickling down close to 5 minutes to go in the half, in the quarter. Webster poked it away from Williams. That's Taylor Williams. The ball's going to stay here on this end. Alexandra Baver, haven't seen a whole lot of her. Haven't called her name much, is what I'm saying. Jeffers, a nice take. Baver, pass up 3. Gets into the lane and shot a little bit too hard. Webster, poked away from behind, gets it to Woody.
And a blocking call on the Pomeroys.
Hannah Woody, surprisingly, has not attempted any three-pointers tonight.
No, she's 1 for 1 from the field with only 4 points total.
We get a media timeout. We'll take a quick timeout as well. I'm sorry, folks. Almost didn't see that coming back after this.
Take advantage of huge savings at our Employee Pricing Plus event at the all-new York Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on US 40 in Brazil. During our construction sale, you have new Rams up to $12,500 off. Jeep Gladiator leased for as low as $299 per month. And Employee Pricing Plus incentives on most 2019 models. On US 40 in Brazil, where we're not number 1, you are.
We're not number 1.
You are.
You're number 1 at York.
You're watching Rose-Hulman Women's Basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
The Rose-Hulman cheer team, part of the activities here tonight is the Crosstown Classic is a community affair, and you pull out all the stops. Everybody comes for the Crosstown Classic, and what a special event when you look at what has been traditionally, before institutions were co-ed. You have men from Rose-Hulman and women from St. Mary of the Woods that would get together. They get married and have families. And then now you have these homecomings for these institutions on the same day, just so that couples don't have to make trips back twice. You can make it convenient, for couples to come back for their alum, no matter which side of the track they're on. And I like that opportunity that you have having the Rose-Hulman and St. Mary of the Woods homecoming on the same day, based on some of the traditions that we've had around for a long time.
Yeah, it's nice for them to be able to combine those two events and work well together.
Big three-pointer is up and good. Caitlin Kraft, 5'5" junior from Zionsville.
Her first 3 of the night, 1 for 1, and her first 3 points of the night.
Woody gets it across, and it's Smith. Oh, Smith almost has. She gets on the floor. You got to tie that thing up. Good job. It's going to stay here. Jordan Barlow, a 6'1" freshman from Haven, Kansas, had to get on the floor to tie up Brianna Smith, a 5'11" senior from Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Woody hasn't been looking for a shot much today. There it is. If she wants it, she didn't want it. Boy, I need her to pull that trigger. We're going to see Jester will pull the trigger. Her shot is no good. Peyton Hayes, 1-point game, 44-43. Hubbard. Going to pull it from the outside. Is no good. Peyton Hayes, the offensive rebound. Webster was just baiting Hubbard into that three-point attempt. Runner is no good. Smith tries to track out a rebound. It's going to be off of Webster. Desiree Webster couldn't quite corral it. Here comes 5 fresh bodies for the Pomeroys. The cumulative effect we talked about. The fatigue factor. How do you think it's setting in here for the Engineers?
You know, I think you can tell the Engineers are obviously slowing down a little bit. Whether that's intentional from Coach Prevo or not, it does seem that when you see the 5 girls on the floor, they have their hands on their hips, they're bending over, they do seem to be tired, and a lot of that credit goes to St. Mary's. And again, the style of offense that they've been allowed to run here tonight.
Boy, Jarrett forced one as she travels with the basketball with 3 minutes to go. The student section for St. Mary of the Woods giving the referees what for. Nice contingent of students right behind the Pomeroy's bench. A lot of athletes in that section as well. Here comes Webster. Takes it all the way. Reamer blocks the shot. And here we come the other way. Beautiful block by Maggie Reamer. Delaney Kendall controlling the ball. Pomeroy is trying to get into their set.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, it's a nice block by Reamer.
He hoists up a 3.
You knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, you did. Webster coming the other way. Look in the middle. Oh, ball's tipped away. Good job by Webster to let it cross the 10-second line before she grabs it. Here comes the trap. Pomeroy's on the floor. They come up with a turnover. And a foul. Oh, my goodness. Did they call a foul on the Pomeroys?
Yes. And that's what you can hear the Pomeroy faithful are not happy. Delaney
boy.
Jarrett gets called with this kind of, what's the saying? The retaliation always gets caught. It's not the first action, it's the second. And I think that's what the officials saw.
Somebody else will say that the ball does not lie.
I've heard that
I
one
just
too.
heard that. I'm just saying. I've heard that before.
I've heard that as well.
Yeah. Second free throw is up there and good. 2-point lead for the Engineers. Webster out, Woody in. Kaylin Williams probing. Love this freshman. So much potential for this young lady. Look at Jester all up into Nicholas. Closing down the airspace. Avery Jeffries, she probably traveled, got away with that one. Here comes Nola Wilson.
She did. They're just not used to taking shots in the paint.
Ball almost turned over. Burnham The 15-footer from the left elbow was good. 4-point lead, Engineers. A minute and a half to go before the end of the third quarter. Somebody got to help out Williams. Jeffers, the jump stop. She's going to get 2 free throws. A very aggressive move to the basket for Avalee Jeffers. She's a 5'11" sophomore, Corey, Indiana. She went to Clay City High School. Iggy Hahn in, Barlow out. Replacing freshman for freshman. All year long, it's going to be like this. Just
exactly, we're going to be
a lot of freshmen, I tell you. Not looking forward to, well, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to put that into the atmosphere. Conference is going to be interesting with these young Engineers. I will say that.
It sure, yeah.
There was one game I was going to circle, but I'm not going to say that. But I'll just say the conference is going to be interesting. The rest of the conference is going to be licking their chops, trying to get some payback. As we're going to steal off the inbounds pass. Pomeroy's looking to capitalize. They charge with the basketball. Reagan Hubbard called for the charge.
It's Hubbard's first foul of the night. But the team's 5th.
Iggy Hahn. The Jester. Burnham. I'm going to tell you what. You wait to anybody in the Heartland Crossing Athletic Conference, you better take your licks on this team now when you can. Because there's another day coming. We've seen for the last 4 years the talent level here at the Rose-Hulman. Iggy Hahn has a breakaway all alone, and she fumbled the basketball.
Just couldn't quite.
Sometimes it's hard to be all by yourself.
It is, and the pass was a little low, and Iggy just couldn't quite hold on to it. Unfortunate there.
But the talent level has been so high around here for a number of years, and Rose-Hulman's been pounding teams into submission a lot of times with an arm ball and a foul. This year it's going to be a little bit different, folks. There's going to be some teams that are looking for some revenge, a little payback. They better get it while they can, because this team, you can see this Rose-Hulman team, there is some serious talent on this team. They're just very young and inexperienced. When they get some games under their belt, when they get a season or so under their belt, this team is going to be very dangerous. Another recruiting class coming in, and look out. It's going to be another reload.
You can definitely see the potential. And
Pomeroy's wrestled that thing away as you had Burnham and Iggy Hahn fighting for the ball, and that allowed for Delaney Jarrett to come in and steal away from both of them. He's got to communicate, said, hey, same team, same team.
That's right. And it's those little things that take time for a team to learn, and again, chemistry. And
Delaney Jarrett steps back for the three. No, it's short. Raymer at the buzzer. No! An opportunity to draw within one or tie goes awry after 3 quarters. It's 47-44. Engineers on top. Back for the fourth after this.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
You're watching Rose-Hulman women's basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
This patty melt is loaded.
10 minutes are on the clock, and the Pomeroys will start the possession of the quarter with the ball. They're down 3, trying to find their second win of the season. The Engineers trying to not win number 1. Ball goes down low, and Lumen saves it. Turnover for the Pomeroys.
When Rose-Hulman won that third quarter, they had 15 to St. Mary's only had 8 in that third quarter, having scored 19 and 17 in the first 2 quarters respectively.
Lumen, ball couldn't quite get through there. Canada comes away with the steal. Races to the front court. Delaney Kendall now. A lot of dribble. Got to find something with this basketball. Raymer the shot from 15 feet off the back iron. Hannah Woody gets it
ball
across
control.
with 1.
There you go.
Boy, yeah, I think she traveled. Yep, she did.
Yeah, she did. But that's exactly the play that Coach Prevost was wanting, to get the ball down low to Iggy. That left hand, she's going to be tough.
Yep, she is. I
Tough
like
to
her.
stop as she gets.
You look at Dester, Burnham, and Iggy Hahn together. That trio is going to give people fit. I'm telling you, folks, those girls are tough. And Rose Burnham, I'm telling you, she can play for me any day. That girl's a bruiser. I like her. Down low, Jayla Rogers off the miss. Brings the Pomeroys within 1. It's winning time.
That's right, fourth quarter. Got to win the fourth quarter.
Love to see Woody be aggressive. Here she goes. Looking
There
for an
you
opportunity, and a Woody. Kaylin Williams down in a blur. Does not give the defense any time to rest. Jarrett, the pump fake, and going to get the foul. It's only the first foul of the quarter. Remember, 5 team fouls puts you in the bonus. Five fresh bodies coming in for the Pomeroys. Brianna Smith has been a star on this rotation. This young lady has been so aggressive defensively. Peyton Hayes in the left corner. Good! Tie game. 49 apiece. Nola Wilson. Excuse me, Desiree Webster, I'm sorry. Ball tipped out of the way by Smith. They couldn't quite corral it. Hannah Woody from 17 on the right side. That's why I want the young lady to look for offense.
You're exactly right. She has been.
Oh, Peyton Hayes, the trailer. Woo!
Nice. Woody has been perfect. I was going to get ready to say she's 3 for 3 from the field, 4 for 4 from the line tonight. But St. Mary's answers right back.
Dester, nope, gets down low to Iggy Hahn. Iggy Hahn's going to swing it to Woody. Yes! Back and forth. Back and forth. 54 Rose-Hulman, 52 St. Mary's. Back after this on the Indiana Sports Network.
Everybody clap your hands. Shot now, y'all. Turn it out. Oh, yeah. Shot, real smooth.
You're watching Rose-Hulman women's basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
Both teams are ripping down the net in the last 90 seconds, trading three-pointers. And it's going to be a very frenetic fourth quarter. Let's see who can play with discipline and not turn the ball over. And Troy, this is setting up to be a good finish.
It sure is. And so far, Hannah Woody for the Engineers is saying, hey, I'm a senior. I'm going to take this fourth quarter and show you young ladies how it's done.
Yes.
And, again, leading by example. She is perfect from the field tonight and has 10 total points.
Right at her average when you look at Hannah Woody on this young season, and this only the 5th game for the Fighting Engineers. Game number 6 will be on our airwaves as well. We'll be right here on Saturday. They have a men's-women's doubleheader, our first one of the season here at Rose-Hulman, as I believe Defiance comes in town. I believe a 1 o'clock start for the women, 3 o'clock for the men. Battle down low for the ball, another jump ball. This is going to be a turnover. Rose-Hulman is going to come away with this thing. Also want to remind you that on Friday, we have a big Western Indiana Conference affair on high school basketball, boys basketball. Sullivan travels to Northview. Is going to have that one. That's going to be a 7:30 starter. Excuse me, a 7:15 pregame for a 7:30 tip. A lot of excitement here on the Indiana Sports Network as we turn our attention to the basketball season, and a lot of games over these next 3 months that we'll have here in December, January, February, trickling into March as well. When we say we're your spot for sports, folks, we ain't joking. Hannah Woody from 10, she misses. Webster with the rebound. Reamer comes away with it, though. Pomeroy's with an opportunity to tie the game. Oh, they had Reamer with the trailer. Jeffers, 15 on the shot clock. Boy, she used a nice crossover. I thought she got fouled. No call. We're going the other direction. Jeffers, though, stays with it, comes away with it, and we get that foul. Oh, my.
Well, credit to Jeffers for being able to stay with the play, not get frustrated.
Uh-huh. And when you look at Jeffers, she's a 5'11 sophomore, very long. Like she's all
she's
arms
lanky,
and legs, isn't she? 5 fresh bodies in. Oh, no! She turned the ball over and couldn't get the catch. Kayla Williams, just one of the freshmen, couldn't quite catch the pass as her momentum was taking her to the 10-second line. Experience will tell you, let your body go across the 10-second line before you corral the basket. They'll talk about that in practice this upcoming week. Stolen from behind almost. Across court to Jester, down low to Burnham, and she's fouled. No free throws, though. Be a sideline out of bounds. It's the first team foul for the Pomeroys of the quarter. 54-52, 5:49 rest on the clock. Iggy Hahn, go up, Iggy Hahn.
Oh.
Back to Webster, though. Oh, she missed it. Delaney Jarrett foul, and I would have loved to see Iggy Hahn right there. I know she was triple teamed, but there was nobody her size.
She would have gone
3 inches
straight
taller
up
than
with
everyone else. Yes.
I totally agree, but she made a nice pass.
She did.
To Webster.
Coach Prevost telling her that right now.
He is.
Desiree Webster has been to the free throw line quite a few times tonight.
He is 5 of 7. Looking to make it 6 of 8.
Two cans a pair.
All of her points have come from the free throw line tonight. She has 6 points.
Need a good possession here for the Pomeroys to stay attached in this game. Williams thought about a 3. She's going to get it to Taylor Rogers. Ooh, Webster played the passing game beautifully. tipped the ball out of bounds. A fresh 5 coming in.
The fresh 5, but only 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Rose-Hulman with some nice defense these last couple possessions.
Delaney Kendall. The candidate down low. Ooh, tipped out of bounds by Igihan. Now with 3 on the clock. Coach Ballinger saying 3 seconds, 3 seconds. Delaney Kendall taking the ball out of bounds. Look, Canada with the curl, the pump fake, the long 3. Nope. Going to be a shot clock violation and taken out of bounds. Desperation opportunity there. They couldn't quite cash in. Ooh, a turnover on the inbounds pass. Not what Coach Prevost wanted there. Mara Canada, the wide open 3. She couldn't get that thing to go down. And Barnum with the rebound.
Yeah, we've seen Rose-Hulman struggle getting that inbounds pass in all night.
Ooh. And now another turnover, back and forth, over and back. I should call it what they don't call it back and forth, do they? They call it over and back.
That's the 27th turnover of the night for the Engineers.
How many for the Pomeroys?
17.
Wow. So once again, one of the facets of this thing they call the system, you want to force at least 32 turnovers for your opposition. Pomeroy's getting close to that. Smith to Nicholas. Williams with 15 on the shot clock. She's nice timeout by Coach Belf. I love the timeout. We'll take a 30-second as well. Right back after this.
This Fritos Chili Cheese Junior wrap is only 99 cents.
And that's a wrap.
Right, but you know the commercial's not over, right?
And that's a car.
Yep, very good.
And that's a camera.
3 for 3, good job, buddy.
That's a Fritos Chili Cheese Junior wrap while they last. Order ahead for happy hour anytime.
You're watching Rose-Hulman Women's Basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
56-52, 4:40 to go in the fourth quarter as both teams are trying to get this win. They're fighting really hard. These two teams, Troy, are playing so hard tonight.
They sure are. It's been a lot of fun to watch. I hope it's been fun for everybody at home being able to watch. There's a lot of hustle on both sides of the ball for both teams.
Yep.
Been back and forth and close all game. I have a feeling it's going to come down to that as well.
Somebody got to help out Smith here. Oh, yeah, that was when you inbound it right in front of your bench. That was they needed to get that ball to the middle of the floor around the top of the key some kind of way, and they just were not able to do that. The ball's going to be turned over. In a 5-second call right after that is Jester was not able to get the ball in bounds. Jayla Rogers providing great defense on the ball.
Coach Prevost is definitely going to be working on that inbounds plays the rest of this week in practice.
Yeah. Yep. Nicholas, pounded by Jarrett. Finally gets the ball to Williams to set something up. High ball screen. Jayla Rogers in the corner. No. Engineer. Oh, boy, and a foul. Engineer's going to come up with the basketball. Brooke Andress, just her momentum was just too much for her to stop from crashing into Kaylin Jester.
Sanders' second foul of the evening. Had 10 Pomeroys score so far in this game.
Ball kicks. Going to have it reset.
Compared to 7 Engineers that have scored. Hannah Woody now leading the Engineers with 13.
Break opportunity for Burns. Oh, boy.
Wow.
Close to an offensive foul. She collects her own rebound. No. Just size and strength. down there, when you're looking at Rose Burnham, she's 5'11". The tallest player that was down there with her is like 5'7".
You're right. I thought for sure there was going to be an offensive foul. As Rose Burnham kind of lowered her shoulder and dug it in, but no call. And
ooh, almost a steal. Woody steps into a 15-footer.
she
If
likes
she has
that
space,
shot.
she's got to shoot the ball.
Yeah, she likes that little 15-foot jump shot. You can see
Got to be a call. And she takes it away from her. Webster takes it away from Delaney Kendall. Should have had a foul out high, I thought, Troy, but it's going to be a play on. And
yeah,
boy,
there was
she comes away with
obviously no whistle. And
yeah. When your body's crashing, you knock the girl to the floor, you got to call the foul.
You know, Walt, we have seen that all night as far as them, the officials letting them play. Bodies flying and
3 on this, 5
banging.
on the shot clock. It's going to be, Coach Prevost catches the ball, and that's never a good thing when this team's on offense because he's out of bounds. 3:18 to go. Pomeroy is still right there. They're only down 2 possessions, down 6 points. 58-52 with 3:18. Nicholas just cannot find an open lane to shoot that 3. She's trying so hard to find an opening. Burnham cuts off the baseline, gets to Williams. 10 on the shot clock. Williams into the lane, into the trees, and is knocked out of bounds. That young lady is not afraid to go into the paint, but you can just tell it's just, it's tough down there for her.
It is. They're just not used to it with this offense.
Nicholas, now with 5, got to get one up. Shot clock's going to expire. Nicholas from 40 feet away. She sees it. Not going to hit iron.
Oh, they called a foul.
Did they really?
Yes, they just called a foul on
who?
Jayla Rogers down low.
Okay. No, they're
Oh,
saying
he's
shot clock
waving it off.
violation.
Okay.
Jeez.
One official was calling for a foul. The other official made the right call, I believe, in the shot clock violation.
Hannah Woody being hounded in the backcourt. Needed to, they got the foul. Ooh. So close to the turnover, and he got the foul. It's going to go against Jayla Rogers, I think. Yep, Jayla Rogers is going to be the team's 5th foul. That means we're going down the other way. We're shooting free throws.
It's Jayla's 2nd foul of the night. You're right. It was very close to being a turnover.
Substitutions coming in.
Get 5 in, 5 out.
Now that's a surprise. Hannah Woody missed the first free throw.
Yeah,
that really surprised me. Her shooting stroke is so sure, so
She
pure.
was
I should
4
say.
for 4. Now she's 4 for 5. 5 of 6 to lead the team with 15 points tonight. Again, she had a career high 19 last weekend.
Oh, Webster steals away from Maggie Raymer. It's a 7-point lead here for the Engineers. If they get a bucket here, Pomeroy's going to be in serious trouble. Ball slapped away and corralled. Desiree Webster has been magnificent defensively for the Engineers, and another foul. When you're halfway through the shot clock, you can't commit that foul at that point. That's not what you want because you're going to give her 2 free throws. And she's been doing a great job on the free throw line.
Yeah, you're exactly right. At this point in the ball game, when you're in a bonus situation, you don't want to give up a foul with the shot clock down like that.
You know, you see Desiree Webster with, I don't know if I've ever seen a player shoot free throws with that deep of a knee bend. I mean, it is just, she bends way down on her last flex before she comes up. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. It's just, you just don't see it that much, that exaggerated. Williams.
It tends to work. She's 8 for 10
Yeah,
tonight.
absolutely.
All 8 of her points have come from that
Three-pointer
free
by
throw line.
Williams. No, Smith the rebound. Ball was kicked. It's going to be out of bounds for the Pomeroys. Pomeroys have played so well here tonight, and the first 20 minutes were just exceptional, as they had a 4-point lead at the half, and Nicholas finally gets open for a three, and see that sideways rotation on the ball. It's just not going to go down very many times. That time it was Kayla Williams, and she got it to go. 6-point deficit for the Pomeroys.
Pomeroys are still in this ball game.
If they can have a possession where they don't foul, make the Engineers score the bucket. Do not foul, especially now. Not now. Don't reach in there, Jayla Rogers. And there it is. That's okay.
Yeah, that's
play
exactly.
Straight up defense. Try to get the turnover.
Right. Exactly what Coach Prevost wanted to see, and exactly what should have happened for St. Mary's.
Nicholas from the logo, and Jayla Rogers. She lays out. I'm telling you what. You're seeing some effort from a lot of these players out here tonight. They're putting it all out there. They're fighting so hard. Coach Prevost is going to call a timeout. We'll take a quick 30 as well and come back for the final 51.9.
You're watching Rose-Hulman Women's Basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
Union Center for Sports Medicine is proud to be the official sports medicine provider for Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology and for St. Mary Woods College, incidentally. The certified athletic trainer for the Fighting Engineers is Scott Keller, Samir Bavishi, MD, and Jerry Palmer, MD, from the Union Medical Group, serve as team doctors. Union Health, caring for Rose-Hulman athletes, and St. Mary the Woods athletes to boot.
Hey, look who's on the free throw line.
She's been there, it seems like all night long, especially after the last 3 quarters. She's taking an exorbitant amount of free throws. First one is in there and good.
Her 9th point of the night, all from the free throw line. Looking to make it 10 of 12 from the line tonight. Oh, I spoke too soon, Walt.
Kendall down the lane. She's going to get the contact.
42.4 seconds to go. And when looking at just some of the stats, the points in the paint, the Engineers have 32 compared to 12 for the Pomeroys. And again, we've talked all night about the three-point percentages. St. Mary's is 13 of 50. Rose-Hulman 2 of 8.
Give me the percentage on. I'm going to get a timeout here. We're going to keep it right here. What's the percentage on St. Mary's and Woods 3-point percentage for tonight?
They are at 26%, 13 out of 50.
Guess what they shoot for the season? 26.5%. So you remember early in the first half were they like 40% or something like that?
Yeah, exactly.
So they've regressed to the mean. They've come down to their normal averages. At the end of that first half, they missed 6 3-pointers at the end of the first half in about the last 90 seconds or so. And you look at, the Engineers just don't shoot a whole lot of 3-pointers at this point. They shoot 17% from distance, so these teams are about, the numbers where they have been. So,
yeah, and regarding free throws, Rose-Hulman's been to the line 24 times, shot 83%. St. Mary's has only been to the line 8 times.
And there's a great foul right there. That is the one, and this is the first time I do believe we're going to see Iggy Hahn, I think, at the free throw line. If you can.
Yes, this is the first time.
This is going to be a point of emphasis for her this season, because as she gets more and more experience and gets more acumen around the basket, she's going to score more points. Teams are going to foul her. Okay, so the one thing that she's going to have to do, she's going to have to improve on her free throw shooting. I know they're working on her in practice, and as a freshman, sometimes it just takes some time. But this young lady is going to score the ball. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah,
Teams will foul her as they see that she can score the ball.
Exactly right.
Misses both.
And I thought she was left-handed, but
I thought she was too.
She shoots her free throws right-handed.
Nicholas from deep, in and out. Iggy Hahn gets that thing away like it's playing hot potato. Going to have a jump ball. Could have had a foul or a travel, to be honest with you.
We could have had
a jump ball
things.
Not bad.
Yeah, right.
Split the difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Let the possession arrow be the mean guy.
Yeah, so the ball stays with St. Mary's.
Coach Prevost stomping his foot like Randy Watson in Coming to America. Underneath. Reamer blows the layup, gets it back, and makes the second one. Oh, my. 20.8 to go. We're going to take a quick 30-second break along with them. Back after.
It could be anyone. The star student. The all-state athlete. I never thought it could happen to me, that I could lose everything. I found help, I found hope, I found recovery. I regained something lost.
You're watching Rose-Hulman Women's Basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
64 to 58 as you see the cheerleading team for Rose-Hulman exit the courts. 20.8 seconds to go for the Pomeroys to try to mount a furious comeback. We've seen Reggie Miller do things in less time than this. But the Engineers are trying to salt this thing away and pick up victory number 1 on the season.
And it'd be the 8th time in a row if Rose-Hulman can pick up the victory. They've won the last 7 meetings.
I'm going to get another timeout. I'm going to keep it here. I think Coach Prevost wanted to take another timeout to try to do some more coaching here. These two teams, at the end of the third quarter, Rose was up 47 to 44. So both teams will score the ball pretty well here in the fourth quarter. But it's just at times you can see the Rose, really the talent level, the difference in talent has shown itself as they've been able to pull away and get a little cushion.
Yeah, exactly. Coach Prevost made some nice adjustments defensively. And St. Mary's was hot there at the end of the first quarter and the end of the second quarter. But again, at halftime, Coach Prevost made some adjustments, tightened up the defense.
Going after foul, and there we do. It's not one of the ones you wanted to foul, I suppose. But of course, Rose Igihan knows it wasn't anywhere near the ball. And of course, the play was going to be drawn up to inbound to hand of Woody. What do you think about this? This is obviously the first time we've been able to see the Engineers. What do you think about the 1920th?
I think they have a lot of potential. I enjoy what I've seen out of these freshmen.
Yeah.
I think, again, the size-wise, and they're only going to get better as a team as the season goes along. So I really think they've got a chance to make some noise.
Yep.
If not this year, definitely, as you mentioned, a few years down the road. But
yeah, because this year belongs to, I mean, unless something drastic happens, Pennsylvania is going to be the class of the cream of the crop here in the conference.
Sure,
they're loaded again this year. I mean, Hanover's going to have something to say about that, but boy, Transy is going to be tough to beat. You hate to predict, what they're going to do and who's going to win.
Sure,
but man, they're going to be tough again. Of course, them winning the conference regular season last year, that being Transylvania, and the conference tournament as Averly Jeffers from Clay City, the sophomore, nails one in the corner. But Transy making it to, I believe, the Sweet 16 of the third round of the Division III National Tournament last year, which was a fine season. And Rose-Hulman here, you look at, what we have, we're just, if a team has ever had to reload, this is it.
Yeah, exactly. You're exactly right.
This is a reload. There's a lot of talent on this team, like you said, but literally the whole roster is brand new. So, save a couple of players.
And they're not going to see another offense like this one that St. Mary's runs in their conference. So it wouldn't shock me at all if the Engineers can, again, being a young team, they may pull off an upset or two.
Oh, they will.
But then they may lose to somebody they shouldn't lose to.
Well, you don't know who they shouldn't lose to at this point. And,
exactly.
It's kind of hard to say, but they start this upcoming Saturday with Defiance, and we're going to see where we go from there. As this one's in the books, Rose-Hulman was able to squeak out a 5-point win, 66-61, to notch their first victory of the season. You see the players shaking hands and at half court as these two teams battled hard. But as always, only one could be victorious, and it is the Fighting Engineers of Rose-Hulman. Teams are going to meet at half court for maybe a post-game prayer or so, and have the students coming over to see, this is Coach Prevost didn't have to do this before. The players don't know what to do. This is their first home game.
Right.
They don't know to come over to the students, and
the freshmen don't know what to do.
The poor girls just don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. So players are going to get accustomed to how things operate around here. This is their first win for this new group. It'll be the first of many. We're going to step aside for our break in our post-game show, come back with stats and analysis, get you set up for future broadcasts. This is the Indiana Sports Network, and we are your Smart for Sports.
Take advantage of huge savings at our Employee Pricing Plus event at the all-new York Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on US 40 in Brazil. During our construction sale, you have new Rams up to $12,500 off. Jeep Gladiator leased for as low as $299 per month. And employee pricing plus incentives on most 2019 models. On US 40 in Brazil, where we're not number one, you are.
We're not number one. one.
You are
Your number one at York.
At Lynn's Pharmacy, we're more than just your pharmacist. We're your neighbors.
Our kids go to the same schools. We eat at the same restaurants.
We sit next to you in church.
When I listen to a symptom.
When I fill a prescription.
When I offer advice, I'm not just helping a customer. I'm helping my neighbor and a friend. My name is Lynn Hofstetter, and I'm the proud owner of Lynn's Pharmacy, a modern pharmacy with old-fashioned values and personal service dedicated to keeping you, your family, and our community healthy since 1872.
Here at Lynn's Pharmacy, downtown Brazil.
You're watching Rose-Hulman women's basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
Victory number 1 has been accomplished for the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers. They moved to 1-4 as they have a 66-61 hard-fought victory over their Crosstown rival, St. Mary of the Woods Pomeroy.
Yeah, and what an exciting game it was.
Yes.
Both first and second halves. Obviously, St. Mary's came out and won the first half, shot the ball very well. But then Rose-Hulman kind of stuck with their offensive plan, ended up shooting, 48% from field goal range, 25% for three-point range, the Engineers did. And they had 30 trips to the line and made 22. So they had 73% free throw percentage. So they did what they needed to do. They clamped down kind of in that second and third quarters. And they, especially the fourth quarter as well, to pick up their first victory of this season. A young season, only the 5th game for the Engineers. We have the privilege of seeing them again here on Saturday.
Absolutely. We look at the Pomeroys of St. Mary of the Woods now at 1-9, and a far cry from what we saw earlier in the season, their first game of the season. Troy, we had them then. Having them now, a lot of improvement, and their defense was a lot better, albeit against a team that slowed the game down in Rose-Hulman. That's their game plan, but still, St. Mary of the Woods really played their tails off here tonight.
They sure did. They shot 14 of 52 for 26.9 in three-point range, right at their average, I think. And so that's what their offense is all about. You know, they were led by Peyton Hayes with 11 and Kaylin Williams. They both had 11 points. The Engineers were led by Hannah Woody with 18, Rose Brunham with 12, and Avery Lumen with 10. So a lot of players saw a lot of action tonight on both sides of the floor, and fortunately for Rose-Hulman, they were able to come out victorious in this crosstown rival.
That'll do it for tonight's game, 66-61. Rose-Hulman picks up win number 1 on the season and moved to 1-5. The St. Mary of the Woods Pomeroys dropped to 1-9. We want to remind you that our next broadcast here on the Indiana Sports Network is Friday night. Will be at Brazil, in Northview High School, where the Northview Knights host the Sullivan Gold Arrows. That'll be a 7:15 pregame and a 7:30 tip. Also on Saturday, we'll have a women's doubleheader here at Rose-Hulman. We'll get you set for that. We'll be talking to you on Friday night. I want to thank our sponsors one last time. Hamilton Center, Lynn's Pharmacy, Riddell National Bank, Refreshment Services Pepsi, Sonic Drive-In, Terre Haute Convention and Visitors Bureau, Union Center for Sports Medicine, and York Automotive. They're our transportation sponsor. They have locations in Brazil, Crawfordsville, and Greencastle. Our camera operates for tonight's game, Kaner and Chase Harper, and Mr. Carl Ennis, our director. As always, Mr. Tony Harper. Don't forget, Friday night, Sullivan comes to town. We'll be at Northview, 7:15 pregame and a 7:30 tip. From my partner, Troy Fears, I'm Walter Gordon saying so long, good night. We'll see you Friday from North.
You're watching Rose-Hulman women's basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
This sports program is presented by authority of Wabash Valley Sports and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated in any way without prior written consent of Wabash Valley Sports.